The night my father asked me why everyone looked so careful around him, I smiled instead of telling the truth. I still remember that smile. It wasn't warm. It wasn't kind. It was the kind of smile people use when they are scared of breaking something fragile. My father was sitting at the kitchen table, the same table where he once taught me how to count coins. The same table where he laughed so hard that tea spilled from his cup. That night, the table felt cold. The house was quiet. Not peaceful quiet, the kind of quiet that presses on your chest and makes you aware of every breath. My father looked up at me and said, "Why does everyone stop talking when I walk in?" His voice was gentle, not accusing, just confused. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to tell him everything, but instead I said, "You're just tired, Baba. We all are." He nodded slowly, but his eyes told me he didn't believe me. That was the moment the silence officially became part of our family. Growing up, my father was the strong one. Not loud, not proud, just steady. He worked with his hands. He fixed broken doors. He carried groceries without complaining. He never spoke about his worries. When he grew older, we thought he would always be the same. But age has its own plans. It started small. Forgotten keys. Missed appointments. Repeating the same story twice in one evening. At first, we laughed softly. So did he. "Old age is chasing me," he joked. But something in his eyes had already changed. The doctor asked my father to wait outside. That should have been my warning. Inside the room, the doctor spoke slowly, carefully, like someone walking on thin ice. He told us what was happening to my father, what would change, what would not come back. My sister cried immediately. My brother stared at the wall. My mother held her hands together so tightly that her knuckles turned white. And then the doctor asked a simple question. "Does he know?" We all looked at each other. My mother shook her head. "He worries too much," she said. "This will destroy him." My brother said, "What if he gives up?" My sister whispered, "Let's wait." And me? I said nothing. That silence felt small at the time, but it grew. We decided not to tell him. Not yet. Maybe later. Later became weeks. Weeks became months. My father noticed everything. He noticed the whispers, the sudden kindness, the way we watched him like he might disappear. "Why am I seeing so many doctors?" he asked one day. "It's just routine," I said. The lies were soft, but they piled up. Every night I felt heavier. Every morning I told myself we were protecting him, but deep inside I knew the truth. We were protecting ourselves. My father started waking up earlier than everyone else. He would sit near the window with his tea, watch in the street. Sometimes he smiled. Sometimes he looked lost. One morning, he asked me, "If something was wrong with me, would you tell me?" I froze. I laughed nervously and said, "Why would you ask that?" He looked at me for a long moment. "You hesitate now," he said softly. "You never used to." That sentence stayed with me. The silence began to hurt him in ways we didn't expect. He stopped planning things, stopped talking about the future, stopped asking for help. It was as if he already knew, but we refused to confirm it. One afternoon, I heard him speaking to my mother. "I feel like a guest in my own house," he said. "Everyone knows something I don't." My mother cried after he left the room. Still, we stayed quiet. Because once silence becomes a habit, truth feels dangerous. It was raining that day. Soft rain. The kind that makes the world feel slow. I found my father sitting on his bed, holding a folded paper. He didn't look angry. That frightened me more than shouting ever could. "I found this," he said. It was his medical report. My heart dropped. He looked at me and asked, "Is this about me?" I sat down beside him. For the first time in months, I told the truth. Not all at once, slowly, with tears I didn't know I was holding. He listened quietly. When I finished, he nodded. "So everyone knew," he said, "and no one trusted me with my own life." I tried to explain. I tried to say we loved him. He held up his hand gently. "I know you love me," he said, "but love without honesty feels lonely." That night, something broke. Not loudly, silently, just like we had done to him. After that day, my father changed. Not in anger, in distance. He started writing letters, sorting documents, giving away small things. "I just want things in order," he said. One evening, he asked me to sit with him. "I wish I had known earlier," he said. "I would have lived differently." Not louder, not faster, just more honestly. Near the end, he looked at me and said, "I forgive you." Those words broke me. "Promise me one thing," he added. "Don't hide truth from love." When he passed, the house felt quiet again, but this time, the silence was honest. I tell this story because someone needs it. If you are holding a truth for someone you love, do not wait. He deserved the truth, not the family silence we gave him. Sometimes the kindest thing you can give is the truth, spoken gently, before time takes the chance away.